Hello, collective. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. So as I'm shuffling, I'm hearing you stood tall where others would have folded. So there's definitely a message coming through for someone that's standing in their power, that they're not being shaken or derailed off of their course. That's definitely in line with the energy shifts that I keep feeling recently. So feels something has shifted. You stood tall where others would have folded. That's just what was coming through as I was shuffling these cards. So let's see what that's saying. So we've got rest and rejuvenation in the reverse, and deception and envy. So straight away that's letting me know that there's a situation that was trying to disturb your peace, to take you out of a I was going to say free thinking zone. And it's something about deception and envy. So someone wants you to be in your head about a deception or working a deception out or something like that. Or you have people in their head that they can't understand how you were able to work through this distortion placed around you. So let's see what the message is. Yeah, look, mental conflict. So definitely there's something that you were being derailed, or there was something being orchestrated, or something that was meant to distort how you saw something. But obviously with the message coming through as I was shuffling, we know that that was clearly an intention. But what I want to pull through is a way for you to see how your energy is being perceived with what you've stood against. So we've got here the shadow side. Something was meant to tap into your fears. So your fears or insecurities, what would have been perceived as a weakness, were weaponized against you in some way. So that there was a mental conflict of, am I imagining this, or am I being too much, am I overthinking, something like that. So an environment manipulation is coming through strong. We've got here patience. So with that patience, it's making me feel that this is your spirit guides, the higher forces, higher intelligence, I was going to say, some kind of higher power, spirit guide, deity, whatever it is that you communicate with. And it could be the Most High, it could just be connecting with your higher self, which is why disturbing your peace was a main priority. But with patience comes stillness, and there's a allowing the energies to move around you, for them to move forward and unfold. So within this patience, you're allowing the spirit realm to clear the way, clear the decks, and let the higher guidance come through and show you the way. So we've got here material, movement, choices and decisions. So the material that I was picking up then as well is something to do with stability, which is why, again, disturbing the peace is there. So the stability could be anything that connects to your situation. But with the patience, and like I was saying, the spirit realm clearing the way for you to make clearer choices and decisions, knowing that if somebody is trying to orchestrate something to mess with your mind or how you see something, then to be able to have a clear thinking head and remove the shadow sides, remove the weaknesses that could be being used against you in order to preempt a series of choices is what I'm being shown. So whoever you are, or there's probably a few of you because a lot are now moving along this timeline, so if you're heading in this direction, you can see what's to come. But what it feels like is the guidance you were getting were to help you with decisions being made, but a succession of actions. So one decision opened a multiple of doors in the right direction. So you've only needed to choose wisely the first decision, and then that would give you a free run, and then you can get ahead of the game, let's say, or whatever this is, and get to a resting point. So that's what they're showing me. So whether this was known by the people you were up against or the situation, you've had to think something through. So something with this, and with that movement choices, if it is a environment manipulation, you would have been up against more people. So we've got triumph, which is also verifying this, whatever it was that you were up against or whatever the situation. I mean, you could have been trying to clear your name. You could have been trying to detach from something toxic and not aligned to your pathway heading forward. It could have been a work situation or peers or anything. There's a lot of variations of this moving around right now, but ultimately we've got the main people are standing in their truth. So it's almost like those perceived as the underdog are the ones that are rising up and literally dominating the frequency right now. So yay to you. So we've got here the triumph. So we've got material harvest. Patience and planning, exactly that. And then sacral chakra. So what's coming up here is, and we'll pick some more cards obviously, but as we've got here the triumph, there was a succession of movements made that weren't predicted by those that were trying to block your path. So this has caused the confusion. So with this throat chakra, I'm being shown here, and just take that one. Then we've got transformation. All right, so what we've got here, we know that they were trying to disturb your peace, but that you were able to rise above that and still find a safe space to be able to receive information. So there could have been an attack on your crown chakra, your intuition, a distortion of your what you understood as your truth or what you knew to be real. There's a trying to make you lock onto something that you believed to be real, and then move you forward and in turn in getting you to make wrong choices and decisions. But whoever you are, you were able to rise above that to a place or an access point that your spirit guides could absolutely get clear, concise messages, going to say verifiable messages. So that may be something you could be just at the stage that you're testing, is this my spirit guides or is it a psychic interference? Whoever you are, or those that are on this timeline, you've been able to find that point. So the deception and envy, which is tapping into the shadow side or bringing out the worst. So if you're a therapist of any kind or reader or something of those lines, you may have been noticing in the people that you interacted with that there's lots of people with their shadow sides coming forward, or lots of things that you were encountering deception and so, but the purpose of that, I'm being shown, was to dash your hopes in humanity, in people, to kind of make you give up hope in believing that there are good and decent people there, which you're seeing now that is how the script is being flipped, because all of those that were the quiet ones, or that were seen to be not very important in some way, are the ones that are now almost taking off their cloaks and being revealed. But the beauty of this energy that I'm seeing is this deception and envy. And the reason that I was getting this, that you stood tall where others would have folded, is this sequence of events that you've been through. You may well have been submerged within all of this that's going on. And even if you weren't aware at the beginning, because the spirit realm will keep you blinded to certain things so that the intentions of others can truly embed around your environment, and then slowly they will awaken you to what you need to see. This is why we've got patience and throat chakra, because the way that I know that the light beings that work with me, what they will do is they'll make sure that when you're in the middle of a situation, that you're blinded to it, because you need to have the most natural reactions and responses to certain things as possible. Because if you don't, then obviously the trick, the game, or the intentions of where they're going to really try and do damage wouldn't work, or they'll go silent and then they'll pick another time. So with this patience, you may have been shown something first of all, but been told not to speak on it. The spirit realm will always take you through a trial run so that you can awaken to what's going on, but you're told to not speak on it. Then you go through the actions, and then you're able to make the decisions, take control, choosing wisely. That's why that's there. The reason that the spirit realm will help you work on your own shadow side first, and let you see what are the points of attack, or the Achilles heel, the weak points that are being targeted. You've got time to strengthen them and do whatever. Then you move forward and the situation re-loops again. But in that re-loop, you would have been aware, and this is how you've been able to stand strong where others would have fallen. And that would have been the intention for you to have fallen. So we've got here, the intention was to end something, either end you, the more that you didn't fall, or to end something that you were doing or creating or working on. That would be the thing. So it's to get you to move away from somebody or off of a timeline, so that you don't at a later point connect with somebody or an industry, or if it's finances, so you're not in a position to do whatever with finances. It's whatever it is, you're not going to know at the time, because these are ones that hide in the shadow, because that's the only way that they get their strength and their power. They have to be hidden, like cowards do. So with this partnerships and alliances and our triumph that's here, the reason that they're showing this is because obviously this is something that can't just be pulled off by one person. They need people to come in and help them. So sometimes people get paid for certain things, not all the time. Other times it's just a group of friends and whatever. But this situation with our triumph and partnerships and alliances is giving me the feeling that whatever you've been through, this one person, let's say the instigator, the script writer, the person that had the initial idea to use you for whatever reason, mostly probably just to show that they're in control, or that they can manipulate the outcome of someone's life. I'm seeing Brewster's Millions, that film with Richard Pryor, where they give him they give him $1 million, and he's got to spend it within a certain amount of times. It's given me that kind of energy. So look that film up if you've not seen it. So it feels that they thought that they could use like partners, girlfriends, wives, or just social circles, things like that, so that they can torture you in some way quietly in the background. So with this being the initial outcome, what they're needing to do is disturb your peace, cause confusion and doubts, and then start being paranoid of the shadow side. Is it me? Am I imagining it? Am I getting this? The deception coming into view, because they need you to see something, but like the saying says, you can't awaken someone who's pretending to be asleep. So if you're already knowing, then they will keep working harder so that they can be noticed. So yeah, that would have been a game within a game. So anyway, we've got here the reasoning for the partnerships and alliances. The main thing is that it will be a story that's going to hook into, say, their social circle. Using an example, could be someone would say, oh, they attack my kids, and then that's going to feed into lots of people on an emotional level, and then it's easier for them to be like, yeah, I'll join in, I'll teach that person a lesson. But see, then as the choices and decisions are rolling along further, especially with the spirit realm, it's this intention and these actions further down the line. Here we're saying like moving on, as we move on through the year, through the months, through the weeks, or through the storyline, what happens is this bit comes back again. This is why there's those points of choose wisely, which are things like the judgment card, because it comes to a point where everybody wants to have a new beginning, new fresh start, or introducing new businesses, new ideas, all of those things. When all of this is done and dusted and forgotten, for some, not all, what we see are people trying then to move on with their, like I say, in their businesses or new relationships or whatever it is. They're literally not linking these two things, but they are then stuck. And that's because we've got the triumph, the sword of truth there, is always coming back to the initial intent. And it's also because you've stood your ground, which again brings us back to that you literally stood tall where others would have fallen or would have folded or would have crumbled. They were expecting you to back down and you didn't. You stood your ground. Number 7 may well be significant for some of you in regards to that. So this is where it's showing now that the reversal that's happened, trapped in fear, is showing that what was intended for you has now reversed on them. But the reason that this is making them trapped in fear is keep looking at this, and then with this putting down, just as a side note for someone to say, as I was just laying that and seeing that, I was just seeing someone calling out at night. So someone's having night terrors, they're speaking in their sleep. So you may have a partner that speaks in their sleep, or you may hear a family member or something, or someone might tell you, oh, I woke up out of my sleep, I was like screaming or shouting or saying, but there's something within that, they're being haunted, and that's what just come through there. So with this trapped in fear, what I'm being shown is that the reason that there is the fear connected to those that were involved in whatever you were put through, that is because they don't know where they're seen. Are they actually energetically linked and connected? Well, the answer for that is obviously yes, because if you're wondering and questioning that, then you can already just turn that to a yes. It is a yes. So the things that they're really setting their hearts on to do or create, there's that fear that either it's not going to go through, or it's going to be taken away, or something disastrous like a tower moment is going to fall at any time. The patience with the decisions and choosing wisely is what creates the baseline for that energetic fear, because we know, those of us that always do as well as we can to treat people as best that we can, we know that the reason for that is because everyone's trying to get ahead. So with this type of game, just playing with people's mental health for the fun of it, that what comes back from that is the shoe on the other foot. It's like, look, you've just been throwing your heart, soul, or all of your money to get this off of the ground, but here we are, the Most High, the spirit realm, your ancestors, or whatever it is, are going to remove that from you. So it's showing like this is what it's like to really have someone fuck with your life, and you not be able to see where it's coming from, because that was the intention of tapping into the shadow side and playing with the mental health, is so that you didn't know where it was coming from. Was it an ex-partner, male, female, or have you fallen out with someone? Has someone been holding a grudge on you? It's probably not even that deep, you know? It's probably not that deep. It's just probably we're finding that a lot of this is like experiments. People are trying to do like paranormal experiments or psychological experiments, but they're taking it on as a peer group to do it in like a live setting, things like that. MK Ultra, gang stalking, it's all things that it's not really that deep, and I don't want to take anyone's experience away from what you've been through, because the way the spirit realm is showing me is that you were subjected to absolute mental torture, or that was the intent, behind closed doors for over a period of time. And whilst that was happening, they are showing that they were extracting the energy. So when you get people that are really, really, really keeping on talking about how the rituals and so take the energy of fear, this is what they're doing, but without a physical sacrifice happening. They're doing it emotionally. So it would look like, oh, you're fighting against the wind because you can't see anything. But what people aren't realizing is it's being environmentally manipulated by people that are up around you. So you'll see the tag that I've got across the screen. It's about being watching out for tarot surfers. So what tarot surfers are is a word that I've coined to describe those that have multiple readings. So if you're a reader, what you would get is somebody keep coming all the time, like a little bit of an extreme amount of readings. You will be wanting to help them. There'll be all different things. And this isn't everyone, but for you to keep your eyes open to it. What they do is they keep coming to one that they've built rapport with, but what they're doing is they're extracting the authenticity of that reader, because it needs to be fed back down the stream to the fake readers so that they can pick up on the they can emanate that energy. Remember, what's pushing through now is a new frequency that can't be copied and can't be mimicked for this reason. So whoever you are that you've been through things like this, the reason that I'm being shown that you've endured to an extreme that most people wouldn't be able to is because you were there to collect the blueprint of the dark forces and how they operate. So because it is very hidden behind the scenes, maskless, faceless people on the attack, and this mixture and blending and hiding within energies. So what they would do is keep getting readings done on a same situation so that they can extract everything out. So and for others, if they're trying to get you removed, it's creating something but getting you to keep reading for them, but really they're getting you to read on your situation because they know that your environment is being manipulated and they want to blend the two, which then the idea is to keep you linked in a ever repeating cycle. So you think you're reading for someone, but really they're trying to mirror in with the life that they know is being manipulated for you. Very deep, I know, but this is how the light beings are showing me that this kind of thing goes on. And the more that you move forward, moving on through this situation, you will be able to see it will become a lot clearer of how they're doing it. It's just we're at the stage now that within many different industries, like there's another one of these within the healthcare side of things. There's all different, but it's the same blueprint. So we've got harmony. So going back to your piece, but what's going to happen now is if you have been locked into a karmic situation that you've not been able to detach for whatever reason or cut the cords, there may be outside influences because of that. Like people still mapping your every movement, feeding it back into the system so that they've got information to use on you. Or for others of you, you've been able to pull away from karmic situations, but then the environment are trying to reattach a fear so that you're fearful of making the same mistake, even though you won't do, because you wouldn't have been alerted to this and pulled forward or extracted all the blueprint coding from it that's needed for others, if that's still making sense. So don't be fearful of making the same mistake again, because you won't. You know too much now. They will still be watching because they have to just let the dust settle and then they come back again. There's too much riding on this for them to not keep coming for you. There is a proper embarrassment and shame. The amount of people that were involved, there's most likely some kind of someone been promised a payout of, if you can remove this person, then you get this, or you get this status, or you can dominate this industry, this field, or whatever the bargaining is. When someone sells their soul, then that's what they're doing. They want normally recognition and fame, or to be worshipped on some level. So we've got the material and spiritual prosperities, which links with our movement, choices and decisions. So what's going to happen is that you will be alerted to your spirit, with your spirit guides, the way that they've guided you through this. So keep everything the same. Never let people know how you open up, how you connect, or things like that. That has to stay private for you. So you will be joining up with others. It could be same sex, it could be mixture. It depends what your situation is, what you're doing, and the pathway that you're heading down. But others won't know what this bit is or who they are. This will be unknown to all, because it's coming under the protection of the higher realms. So what the purpose of this person or this introduction will be is because it's harmonizing a vision that someone else already has, you already have, and then it's crossing paths, or they've got one half of a blueprint and you've got another half. There's something about that, the connection, the partnerships and alliances, but it's not going to be like this fake scripted, like the planted tarot readers do and say whatever to make you believe, just wait, just wait, just wait. You're not supposed to be waiting. This is a clearing up, clearing out. This is an action time, because this isn't sitting around waiting for someone to find you. Your paths are going to align and cross as you're both heading in the same direction. Nobody is waiting for anyone. So keep moving with your plans. Don't worry about trying to align with anyone or anything. You're supposed to be following your passion. You're supposed to be following your highest guidance, whatever that may be. And you will always be acknowledged through your intuition, the truth, and a yes. If you're ever needing to stand still, the spirit realm will pause you. So that's just for some of you, but there also needs to be a recognition. Is it the spirit realm pausing you, or are you being physically, environmentally manipulated? You need to be able to tell the difference. And remember that these are people that dabble in the dark arts and the cults. So you may not necessarily be first-hand experience with those that are, but those that are following directions of the actual initial instigator, or the person that needed you removed, or whatever, that tier are always hidden. Their hands are always clean. It's always looking like it's not them, because it needs to be part of the confusion and the shadow side. It's like, well, if it's not them, the most obvious, then who else could it be? Trying to lead you to believe, like you arguing with everyone, that you've got, like, you thought there's no one likes you, no one wants you, no one interested in where you're going, what you've got to offer. Or it's all about that, because it needs to keep you contained. So when you're hearing of those that say, oh, you're going to be contained, we're containing you, what they're showing you is that they are telling you what's going to happen, because they are orchestrating your pathway, or the intention, or the way that they need to get people to box you in. So know that if you're resonating with this story as your own, that you are highly, highly regarded in regards to the spirit realm and what they can see that you're doing in the way of the situation you endured, your resilience, your utter strength, and your ability to bounce back and heal. Your ability to not move forward with grudges is the key component here, because you don't forget, with a spirit realm, they can see as like an X-ray kind of. They can see through all levels and frequencies, whether you're pretending you're over something but really harboring some kind of a grudge that at any point you can use that, weaponize it, or do whatever. Those are the people that won't go so far. There's more that are coming online or are being inspired by seeing others. There are more codes for people to collect. So remember, I'm not saying, and the spirit realm are not saying, for you to place yourself in dangerous, torturous situations and feel that it's for the good of humanity. That is not the message that I'm portraying here. What it's saying is, you will already have been in a situation that when you wake up to the fact, you will realize, I'm in a real, not predicament, but you're gonna see it's like a decision will need to be made. Are you going to carry on the same and make the situation work because you have no choice but to keep going up? Or are you going to move out of your comfort zone, take a risk and break the mold? And that's what's going on here. A lot of these people that are standing up and going through this are actual generational curse breakers. And the reason that there is such a heavy penalty that comes from people that orchestrate trying to derail these people or suppress them is purely for the fact that they are breaking generational curses. So they have their ancestors that are fighting behind them, willing them forward and seeing. Can you imagine that somebody in a bloodline is moving forward and then someone that's jealous or got a grudge or feels like their competition wants to throw money and say, I'll give you this to take out this person, whatever take out may mean, block them, make them doubt themselves so they don't have confidence, or so they move on to a different area, whatever it may be. It can be a multitude of things. But can you imagine that that person's here specifically to break those cycles for their family bloodline? There's no way that those ancestors are going to sit back and give it, oh well, better luck next time, maybe little Jim, when they reincarnate or when they come through, that we can all get behind them and them do it. Not at all. People are here for a reason. Some people are here to just fuck around. Some people are here to get shit done. And that's what you're seeing now. So when you get the dark forces or the planted readers, they will try to slight it like you're a victim that just stood up. That's where you know that they're reading it or they're manipulating it, because if you are resonating with this story and this is aligned with your energy, then you know there is nothing ever been victim about you. You're here enduring what you've endured because you're absorbing patterns of behavior, understanding why people do what they do. You're demonstrating that no matter how much kind, careness, love, compassion you pour into some people, it's still thrown back in your face, used as a weakness. This is why when people are moving forward and they're wanting to do whatever, if they were like ex-partners, ex-girlfriends, or current girlfriends, or prostitutes, or enforcers, or drug dealers, or whatever it is your situation, it can be a mixture of anything, all coming in to target a business, a situation, a marriage, a single person, a baby mother, baby father, all of those things. It's a target focus will be placed, and then movements around will manipulate that. So it's like, well, if you can get rid of that person from that person's life, then I'll give you this, you know? Okay, so I keep looking at this transformation cards, bringing loads forward. I'm hearing Cain. I'm hearing Ian. Alan. Sophie. Let's see. Andrew. Chloe, Lucas, Amanda, Dubai may be significant, Texas may be significant, Arizona, Gemma, Dan, Tony, Joey. All right, so we've got house. House could be a learning establishment, could be a school, a university, could be somebody's house, a location, it could be a hotel, could be a number of places, as you can see. I'm not picking up prison or courthouse for some reason, but we will see. All right, so let's just see what we've got. We've got occupation. So most likely you were competition in some way, a rival, or your business was used as a blueprint to feed out whatever. It's the pulling the authenticity from something, or if your business was a focus to be removed or whatever, or people that worked with you, something like that, then this could also be the tarot surfers going around trying to pick up the energy of your business or your relationship, or whatever it may be. Yeah, the school, something about headmaster and school. This is what the tarot surfers are trying to pick up. So they've got to find a rapport with a particular reader, and then they can draw out what they can. They can mold the energy of what they need. This is the energy mimicking, and then they can go forward, take action, come back, see if what they're doing is working through the readings, and maneuver through that, and obviously see if the reader is picking up anybody else that is active within that, if they're showing up. So we've got here thief, so some kind of ideas or energy being stolen and used for what else. We've got here message of concern, so this would be as well with the spirit guides bringing something into your awareness when it was getting to a point that maybe you not being taken out is moving to a next level. Like I'm being shown, if a business didn't go into liquidation, bankruptcy, or something like that, it just kept surviving for whatever reason, then someone would come in and do some kind of accidental something, so the business has no choice but to close down. That type of thing is when you will be alerted, because the ending is moving to an extreme. If you remember that somebody has boasted that they are going to make a particular outcome happen, and they've either been paid for that to happen, for them to not produce it, then deflects back as shame. They're the laughing stock. It's you give it all that but wasn't able to make it happen. So this is what you will see now. They won't stop until there's a proper ending for them, but you've just got to carry on as you are, because this is where the spirit realm are heavily involved. And that again takes us back to the beginning of the reading, why it's saying that they are recognizing the strength in what you've done, and they want you to know that what you've collected, the information and how it's working on the inside, is actually quite valuable, because whoever this person is, or this industry, or this pathway that you're crossing, they will be most likely directed to your business or something like that, so that you can so that something can come together. You may well hold piece of information unbeknown to you, unbeknown to them, but say your guidance may help them identify a thief, that something's going on in their business or something like that. It will be something that links, but you will be the one holding the key to it. So we've got message of concern. Then number 7, a message. So this is where they're telling you to stand your ground. We had that standing tool against some kind of danger that you've been alerted to, or you're going to help someone else that's going through the same. So we've got mature woman. So this could be the person that's instigated it, or it could be the person you're helping, or it could be yourself. Yeah, we've got journey. So this is where the cycle starts changing, because you've collected all the information that you know within this situation. So you will be removed from it now. It might not always look like you are, but you're operating from a higher perspective, higher dimension, not completely higher dimension, but there's a pocket of that you can tap into, which is where you get your communication. I'm not going to say downloads, because that's starting to be hijacked now, but there's just a air pocket, let's say, that you're able to access, and it's like a soundproof booth, let's say, for your the clarity of message that can't be penetrated or interfered or altered in any way. Whatever you've used to get you through this, whatever you've used that's helped you to see names, faces, gameplays, all of that, it's not going to no use. It's been collected because it's here to help someone else that is going through the same. So so we've got here wealthy man. That could be it, that you're occupation or whatever you do has taken you on a journey, which we've just seen, and now it's going to help somebody that is being stolen from, or they are being manipulated, their environment around them, something's happening the same to them. So we've got message of concern, and then we've got change. Message of concern is showing that a situation is about to change or needs to change, or this person's going to wake up, and then they've got to live through a situation in order to recognize where the exit point, the break point is, for them to create the change. This is nothing that's moving forward like the old script of being stagnant, waiting around. You've got to remember, we are in an action period. We have been for a while, but people have been led to believe that you sit back, kick back, and nothing's going on. That is the script that's embedded in. Sit around and wait, it's going to come to you. That's not the case. This is a moving forward. It's an action. It's clearing as you go, because if that's the energy you're tapped into, this type of timeline, then you are at the front of the curve. There is no sitting back for you. You're on the feet running. That's why a lot of the people that are at the front of the curve are now realizing that they've got ADHD on some kind of level. It's because they are just constant on the go, and there's that different wiring of the mind. It's they bring something extra. So we've got here gift. All that's coming forward now is where you are being gifted from the spirit realm, the higher realms. This is the real co-creating side of it. We've got fertility there, the new cycles moving forward. This is where you're going to start seeing how the spirit realm, the light beings, absolutely do play a part. We've got number 7, like said, standing your ground, and standing tall where most people would fall. The messages you are getting are a gift from above, the Most High Spirit Realm, your ancestors. You are constantly one ear listening, you're in communication. That's why your bubble pocket cannot be intercepted, distorted. You've always got one ear is actively listening, because you're constantly getting directions, instructions. That's why I'm saying, if this person is a false person approaching, it doesn't matter. You're absolutely going to know that they are approaching. So when you're seeing the plant readers and they're trying to steer you in different ways or plant seeds in your mind, just take it with a pinch of salt if you're looking through things like that, because your only actual messages are going to come from above. There's no other way for you to make that type of choice and decision if you are on an actual curse breaking life mission, or you're doing something that is creating change from an injustice or something, a rebalancing, recorrecting. It's not coming from anywhere else, it's coming from above. There's no other way to interpret it. Who else are you following, or how are you doing all what you're doing? You're being guided from a higher power. So that's that bit. So this is where, like, you will get the resources. It doesn't matter if it's like they've affected your money or attacked that. You will be able to live off nothing, or they will give you an income that will be hidden, or there'll be something, or someone will, like, say, if you like a platform, it would be that someone will give you a surprise donation, come out of nowhere, but it will be what you've needed to get you through. That will be on the back of that. Whether they realise that it's done that or not, they will never know. It's not about that, but there's lots of things of that. which you will already be in a stage of trusting, then on top of that, it builds, because what you're about to do is to really rewrite history, rewrite the future, rewrite the whole script. This is the dark forces that are here to block, keep you in sadness, in depression, into karmic relationships and never moving forward, always chasing the drama and not believing in the positivity, the hope. You can all feel now, those that are connecting to this type of energy, that what you're feeling pushing through is infectious in the way of it is positive. It does feel like we're making progress. We are moving through. We can individually, without being told, oh, can you see the change? No, you can verify that for yourself in your own environment, because that's the strength of the energy that's pushing through. And this is what the tarot surfers need to siphon to be able to copy, because it's that frequency that's going to be it's going to be the power that pushes everything through. That is the force of spirit. So we've got here entrapment, imprisonment, entrapment. Be careful, because there could be an offer of something trying to entrap you. Mostly they will try to use your words against you, or something that you've done in the past and bring it back, or whatever. These people are being exposed. They have to keep every minute of every day finding some kind of something to try and trip you up or discredit you. But if you just carry on doing what you're doing and know that this is outside of anyone's hands, and the more that they don't stop, the more that they've got everyone looking in, like, has it worked yet? Is it happening? What script are we supposed to pull forward? All of that, it starts coming out as chaos. And that's the other feeling that you're going to be able to identify, in the sense of those that are feeling this high vibrational force energy pushing through. It's that upbeat, happy. It's like nothing may have changed so significantly, but you can feel it. It might just look like it's rubbish to people on the outside that are materialistic and shallow, can't go to that level of depth of being grateful for whatever they've got, and just happy to put smiles on people's face purely for the reason of seeing someone else smile. It's that type of frequency that can't be mimicked. It can be copied, but it cannot hold that same depth of essence. And that's what you're going to start seeing. That will be a shift of those are in one earth and those are in another earth. It's all of those type storylines that are coming forward. But really what it is people aren't being made to feel a certain way because they're just naturally happy. So we've got high honor. We've got expectation, and then we've got thoughts. So again, this is basically what's coming forward, is that authentic people that are genuine with what they do, it will start standing out. You've got there is that expectation. That's why the mimickers, the copiers, that they're doing everything they can to try and harnessed in that energy. So there's an expectation for people to keep aligning. Don't concern yourself with things like that. Whatever it is at the minute, just carry on, because there is that separation. Things are going to start really standing out. So the more that you can train your eyes to see it now, the stronger your sight and vision will come. So we've got thoughts. This is the other side of it as well, that it's not so much the telepathy side of it, but the power of thoughts. So all right, I need to come away from that bit that I was about to go down, because that's going to get complicated. Basically, let's just say there are thought manipulations, but it's going to be coming from the environment. So you really need to be mindful what you're watching, because if you're not really aware of how seeding thoughts works, or mind manipulation, they need you to watch something for like consistently, and then you're more pliable. That's how it will work. So there's copying of a authentic whatever business person, just a genuine person, then there's the expectation that that is going to be the dominant frequency. It already is, because everything's gonna be like synthetic, copied, or styled on, or fake, or like AI, nothing. So it's like, yeah, there's AI is useful for elements, but there's this real overlay. It's like a fake overlay. So naturally, those that are truly genuine and authentic and comfortable with being their self, however unique, strange, weird, or odd that they may have always been and appeared, that's the ones that are going to stand out now. But they're not going to feel uncomfortable with being seen, because they can spot others which are still far and few between, but they are now removing their cloaks, or they're being revealed by the spirit realm, because now it is that shift. The shadow side is leaving and the light shining. So we've got thoughts. So you will be able to connect and tell other authentic people, because there's no denying the feeling that's coming. That's what I'm saying. You can get those that are copying or mimicking it. They can try and be happy and project that kind of upbeat thing, but they can only hit a certain pitch, a certain note. They can't actually elevate the whole energy up to where you're going to be. There you go. Quite a lot, don't you think? All right, so there you go. Let's just take a little universe. I was going to say unicorn. Yay, universe card. Thank you so much for those who have continued to support me. Really appreciate it. And we have true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. And that is everything. It's being real. Happy, sad, moany, laughy. We've got a whole range of emotions, and it should be okay to display them as we are. It's what makes us who we are. There's no having to explain. We are what we are, literally. All right. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.